What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from that creature. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring Narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I've already done my best to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from the way. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless I can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with it. We shall look for an opening together. What now? The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. A chance will present itself.
इसी बॉस फाइट थी फेंक दिया उसको
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime.
Master's pet.
Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Spark.
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world. So you may speak to me as equals.
Oh. What sort of person would take the all-devouring narwhal?
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master.
अलग ही गैलेक्सी चल रही है इसके पैरों पे.
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sertologi.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfalnir then? Or Gold Rhine-Daughter?
This one.
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhine-Daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-Daughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you.
Nice.
Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
Prophecy will surely come true when you accepted it.
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
What the freak?
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
कहीं में डूब गया है वो?
Hey! Help! Over here!
आओ. अब ह्यूमंस बन गए क्या? अब सही बात है. अच्छा वो. ओके.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
प्रोजेक्ट पे, पता नहीं रायो के स्टोरी क्वेस्ट में था या आर्कॉन क्वेस्ट में था।
Look! The water's receding!
बढ़िया।
It's a miracle! The water's receding. We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong!
Ah, yes.
Are you right?
Yeah.
We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
फिर से मैं राइसली बोल गया था, बीच में बनट बोल गया।
The Solo renewed. The Spina Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spina Rasula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it. Skyship Winglet, lunar brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team.
क्या quest था यार?
Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
They might have been real big shots from the start.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down. The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
The articles do make me curious about how things will play
I'm
out.
curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on! Let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
क्या बात? Go to Poisson. ख्याल से मेरे डीसी तो हो गए होंगे अपने आप ही। हो गए। टीम चेंज हो गई क्या? पिंग बड़ी बुरी आ रही है यार। एक मिनट लोअर हो Newbie member.
Navia!
Oh, it's you. What brings you all here?
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snežević. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That will have to be enough.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh,
I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clarence?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision makers. And, well, I do already happen to be connected to Mr. Callis.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
She was not really a god.
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler. It's better than wasting time persuading Chlorand at any rate.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up. It's...
Smile.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots.
क्या बात है इतनी rapid fire?
All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
वही तो rapid fire.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Chlorand.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Maripede.
You already knew she was going.
You're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillet, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
I know, right?
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridsley will make a personal appearance.
Oh,
you're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
Go to the Fortress of Maripede. तो मेरे ख्याल से फरीना के पास एंड में जाएंगे. DC rewards ले लूँगा. कभी भूल जाऊँ मैं.
Add Astra. Thank you for
Add
Astra.
एक कंडेंस और कर लेता हूँ. 5 हो जाएंगे. सारे एक साथ ला दूँगा. अच्छा ये आ गया इवेंट आ गया लेट्स गो टू फोर्ट्रेस ऑफ मेरो देखते हैं राइसली आता है वैसे तो आएगा ही ट्रैवलर जो जा रहा है सीजविन भी आएगी राइसली भी आएगा
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Finally.
Luke, did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
That's a chill dude.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
Well, yes.
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier,
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on. The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh! Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
Ship.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that long?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. We've seen this kind of thing before. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Siegeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photo... Sure. Come on, Miss Siegeween. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Huh? Sure. Do I have to smile?
Yes,
so,
definitely.
How have things been at the fortress?
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some changes, but this place is still more or less the same.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurier? Miss Lorvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, which is a pity.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two.
Share news from above ground with him.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for him.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. All right, last stop, the docks.
Docks में कौन मिल सकता है? Lini Linet. Premier. तेरे बस की हो भी गया। अबे वेल वाली फाइट आधी थी, बड़ी जल्दी हो गई। मुझे लगा था पूरा मारना पड़ेगा उसको। आधी हुई और स्कर्क आ गई। सज्जू की बॉस फाइट थी वहाँ, वहीं तो ये नहीं आने वाली लोग। अरे म्यूजिक भी चालू नहीं हुआ सही से, बिल्डअप पे ही रह गया।
That she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
अरे वही वाली
Traveler,
pocket thing क्या?
Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you.
Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by I'll help you make some more friends?
No.
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Oh no.
Sure. Please, write down my address.
You sure are working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Oh, मुझे देखना है.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Point.
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, Traveler?
I'm doing all
Father
right.
says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
नोसिस के चक्कर में होगी, नोविलेट से बातचीत कर रही होगी और क्या?
I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nervilette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic gift?
सब यही करते हैं बवाल यार.
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, there were actually a number of things going for it. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
Well, that's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit irresponsible?
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Nervilette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
So there's some reason for this that only Nervilette knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the fortress of Meripede a while back.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
भाई, ये वहीं पे ही तो थी जब चाइल्ड को लेके चली गई.
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
I cannot call him one of my war buddies.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
I'll let you know.
Father!
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the Traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
Will you keep to your position?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Actually, I just remembered something. Please help us.
A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
Oh no, इससे interview मत मांग लिए.
That's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all. This'll be more than enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. So many things have happened, but the pockets are still the pockets. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a good day, you two.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte out. Shall we go see what Nibble's doing? As long as he's not so...
अरे यहाँ पर है. मुझे वो याद आ गया स्टार रियल सीएनजो के फिनाले के बाद मतलब पेंटेलिया को मारने के बाद दे रखा था क्वेस्ट में कि से फेयरवेल टू एवरीवन. सबको ढूंढना मैंने ये सोच क्या पाएंगे नहीं सीएनजो में वापस. और देखो क्या हुआ नेक्स्ट अपडेट में सीएनजो में वापस आ गए. गलत जा रहा है.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there!
Time to go.
Hello, Mr. Hydro Dragon.
So, you really are here, Nibblet. Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that
ये तो मुझे भी जानना है मेरे हिसाब से तो इसने प्राइमोरियल सी की सारी पावर चूस ली और वो नॉर्मल वाटर बन गई कुछ और
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes
ये
time to
वेल
say
के
them
बारे
out
में बोल
loud.
रहा था ना ये वेल से सारी पावर ले सकता है ये प्राइमोरियल सी की
Whoa. So that's what happened?
I only saw Furina's part of
Focalor
it.
destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone.
You could say that it was that moment that the Fontanians were finally truly born. Correct.
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too.
कोई आर्कॉन है ही नहीं वैसे यहाँ
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask.
About
Ask away.
my sister.
I will tell you the truth as I know it.
What? Initial body is the cause of potency of intention when I stop on my journey. What the hell? Sister के बारे में नहीं पूछेगा ये?
I have investigated his case
अच्छा, ये
along
आर्कॉन
many
है,
avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans, were the
मुझे बड़ा याद है
children they had
वैसे तो कुछ
also
याद रहता नहीं है
transformed
तो ये और ये चीज
Oceanids?
एकदम याद रह रही
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontanians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Oh.
Paimon sorta gets it now. Either way, seems like this ritual won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as a local custom.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House.
Where is
I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House, not unlike how an ordinary person might.
अरे यार क्या मुसीबत है
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
He will rule over Fontaine.
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay. Where are they getting their energy from?
From him?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the knave that I believe may be useful to you. The harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. Paimon still got a question about the Gnosis. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Nervalet?
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend.
कैप्टन सही में वो सबसे बैटल हंग्री बंदा ये
I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Huh. According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him.
मुझे लगता नहीं ये playable होगी.
It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts. And my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
And when will it be?
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger then.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
The remains of the third descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here.
So descenders mentioned one of them. I am the fourth descender. For me, this information means two things. One, that the Gnosis are ready to descend, and two, that the one who came before me has already died.
I guess that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender. I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. That does sort of count as special compatibility, right? No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels creepy. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all.
Don't worry, I won't die so easily. I would not say that.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
Go look for his master, जैसे next door ही मिलेगी वो.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
All right. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human. Was that really what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
Can you understand the will of
I
the
suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what ultimately is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?
Complete, finally. क्या है ये? कैटरपिलर वाले वर्ल्ड की कुछ न कुछ इन्वेंट होता ही है। बोले यार ओहो, we have no Archon in Fontaine. We have someone similar to Archon, the Hydro Dragon. डरता रहूंगा मैं कि क्या पता आज Okay, so now what? इतना ही तो अच्छा लगे तेरा जो आएगी। How did you like the match? यार मुझे क्या करना था? नहीं, ये देखना है हुआ क्या इसके साथ। I will do it.
Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps?
The more lucrative the better.
You know we're worth it! For quality work and speedy results, choose Paimon and the Traveler!
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable, but the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties.
That does sound like a tricky situation.
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job. There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
Very true.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution.
Oh, it's that guy, huh?
We'll go talk to him.
Hello there. Are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer, if we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame.
And to cover the budget for a new actress with tickets.
That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you?
Final show.
One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it. Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood. And unfortunately, the show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake...
Got it! We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas.
Simple.
What if we sponsored the show? Trevor, how much more are you carrying?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor, and I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
How do you find someone who's a good fit for the role?
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible.
What about you know who?
Oh, wait! What about... you know... That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her! You're... That was a joke, right?
No, sir, that's not a joke.
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name but even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself.
You want the show to go ahead, don't you?
I just think Lady Farina might
take?
feel a bit... Well, yes. Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course,
leave it to me.
It all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Let's go, it'll be good to check in on her.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news.
Wait, where does Farina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Catherine to the rescue.
When did you get here?
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought it is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, now that we've got the address,
हाल चाल देखना भाई कैसी है वो लिटिल ओशन है मैंने कर दिया आए तो 2-3 कर दिए इतना अच्छा लग थोड़ी है जो आ जाएगी
did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here? Not that there's anything wrong with this place, it's just...
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Okay, when did popping on a thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too. Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to
doing
cook.
fine.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
Sorry, we're sorry. Please don't be mad. Yeah, exactly. With the trip, hang on a sec. You weren't exactly holding back either.
My help? Well,
don't worry. It's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically...
तो इसी परफॉर्मेंस में इसको इसकी विजन मिलेगी शायद.
I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine. Well, but given the present circumstance...
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now,
you should not assume
they'll
the
probably
worst of
just
people.
laugh in my face if I go asking them for help. True, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Oh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
It's all right, Farina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so
Let's try to come up with a plan B. इसको dress up कर दो.
Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. All right then, we'll see you around, Farina.
Toodaloo to you too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
बेचारी. बेचारे को बैड न्यूज़ दे हो
It's too bad, but we have to respect Farina's decision.
Oh no.
Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
अच्छा इसके बगैर ही decision ले लिया
Shortly
रितेश
after you
सर ने।
left, the troop's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to
नहीं
perform.
सब यही बोलते हैं।
Excuse me,
Beach play
but
में
can you
बेहोश हो
both take a
जाएगी।
moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Farina go?
She said no.
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Imagine if we had managed to convince Farina to join, only for her to find out she's no longer needed.
Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Oh no.
Jeez, is Lady Farina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case
शायद
closed
पीछे खड़ी थी
now,
वो।
huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it?
Don't force yourself.
The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
हाँ वही तो ये खड़ी थी.
Sure.
She is standing right there. Yup. अब चीज के लेके आ रहा.
I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list.
Not getting out of this one.
All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me. Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Farina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you...
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine.
No need to worry.
Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me.
Nothing escapes my sight.
But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Farina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as Lady. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in this serial disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Farina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life. And people loved our performances back then.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, none of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than...
Oh.
That's so sad.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your
Yes, exactly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After
Farina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member, but only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant.
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese, is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
They come pouring out and flow away into infinity.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before. And so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Huh. Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
But it's not swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina's performances, as of course we all are. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size.
Finally. Go to the rehearsal location. और डायरेक्ट टेलीपोर्ट ही मार लूँ ना. कल करूँगा एक्सप्लोरेशन ऑफ आर्मी. Enter the rehearsal location. तो साइड में काफी छोटी जगह है.
Huh? Lady Farina?
What's Lady Farina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Farina will be supporting our production of the Little Oceanid. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out.
You
bet
that was the trial of the century.
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice.
Oh, please don't mention it. We just...
So, you were saying?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to this...
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front, trying to realize this dream. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form. She longed to live just like any other human. But one day, her true identity was...
So far, so good.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, we need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah. Like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. And one last thing. We're still waiting on... The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and the other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen...
Although, now that we have Miss
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really... But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson.
Stop.
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
Allons-y. पोसान के बारे में याद मत दिलाओ ये डिप्रेशन में चले जाएगी फिर से डोंट वांट दैट बड़ी मनहूस जगह है वैसे सारी की सारी ट्रेजेडी यहीं पे ही हो रही।
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay?
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
ऐसा बोलना फरीना इधर एकदम निकल के आएगा बाहर।
So, as expected,
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Farina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Thank you.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
Need some personal space.
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
एक तरीके से आर्कॉन क्वेस्ट का ही वो मान लो एपिलॉग.
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experience.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Don't blame
Please,
yourself.
must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
No, you should not.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done, which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Farina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all.
Where to go?
Look after her now.
Got it.
Off we go
Big
then.
sister बन गई ये तो.
Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with.
Time to go.
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me. Which, of course, I completely understand and accept. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Maybe you're taking on a bit too much.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Oh no, they're not.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rosula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Time to go.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true.
But
then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Think of your freedom as your reward.
A reward?
Because now you can finally speak your heart.
I guess so. And back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Farina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So depressing.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same.
Do you feel better having gotten all this off your chest?
I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. At least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
मनूज लोगों ने अटैक नहीं करे बस ये क्या फायदा इनको अंगा बंगा करना पड़ेगा.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again. We're back. Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
You're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he
outgrew that role.
Well, the costume at least.
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines, too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness.
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe was like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines.
We don't know you, we don't want you.
But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time. It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage. The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on." One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe.
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here.
Farina? The Farina? Oh my god.
How did you make it,
Please, the honor is all mine. I was...
Same here!
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. Yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming... The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, the little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
The humans she is trying to protect.
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Like a villain.
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love. One that
There's actually something else that... You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And if we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her? Her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity.
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me. And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director O'Reilly's death. On the day when she went missing, Director O'Reilly had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point. But we looked for her. The Gardamix looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had...
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing.
Vilma? The one who...
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, because... Well, speaking of the play being true to life...
What?
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. I did tell her how I felt once. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's... Well, maybe then she could... And now, that day will never come. So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by O'Reilly.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Vilma. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's...
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly?
Yes, let's do
funny
this.
You should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone.
Alone see. ये बड़े डायलॉग है इसका अलोन सी अभी भी खेल रहा है क्या ये होली I am the honored one 50-50 जीत गया तो कितना खुश हो रहा है यार नेक्स्ट 50-50 हारेगा तो कौन टॉप पे हार जाइए 50-50 हारा बहुत उड़ रहा है ना
This is tough going.
As if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour. Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Farina in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into indemnitium.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put.
More than anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh. Secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
This doesn't require god level power. Don't you know any self-defense?
Hey, lay off, all right? My bluff is hanging from a thread here. I'm sorry. I got carried away. Please help us out, would you?
Aww, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lift.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Don't worry. Ora. Oh, never mind, not ora.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's life.
Come on, please.
अरे बच भी तो यही गया मनोज.
Wind strike.
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards. Hey, यहाँ पे रह रहा है टेंट में.
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Farina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the
whole sequence of events so far.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance... I care just as much as everyone else. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make...
Diamant, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Vimo. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to say the little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us it seemed like a win-win. So, I said yes to it on the spot. The drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, the merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to... I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that but things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up. And suddenly, the director... I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything. Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it.
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean, you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her. How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show.
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
End my life so I can meet the director.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost.
That's enough. You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing, but in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters, to shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that if she'd seen Paulo and Villemont at each other's throats like that, she...
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of...
I'm truly sorry.
It's all right.
So,
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect. The end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind,
we can get a better sense of what
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on.
No.
Well, we'll
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you.
Okay, seems like we're getting to the end. Former troop director belonging to the Palais Mermonia.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearance? Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application.
Chalo badhiya.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind.
Hey, it's full of script lines.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! It looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of...
Lachey took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many...
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Someone else was taken, that makes 6, or perhaps just 7. Someone tried to escape yesterday but was caught. She has not been seen since. Was that yesterday? Maybe not. Sorry, I'm so sorry, I can write no more. I think I have a fever and my old stomach troubles have returned, but nobody has given me any medicine. I suppose I'm more fortunate than Cressy. The pain keeps her awake all night. I suppose they think that anything goes so long as the experiment subjects can be used up before they die. It is so damp here, I have given her my blanket. So cold, so cold, so cold. As long as one persists, all things will pass. There will be a reward for hard work. I'd like to teach them such things, but it is I who am losing my grip. If anyone sees this, troop safe. I damn important. Please, farewell, apologize, live, perform, future, regret, Leo. क्या लिख रखा है? Replace with lyrics from musicals.
She was so terrified.
It is all right in front of her and had to wait for her own death.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This...
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. This is truly what you want because I am an older sister to them and of them.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh!
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat, I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
विजन नहीं मिली है अभी इसको.
Follow the wind.
Some grind their teeth and howl with rage.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face...
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think...
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance, to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really?
Finally.
How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, if you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your and aren't human emotions. Love, hate, regret, and hope. I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Farina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Oh.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant besides. A role...
Well, if you're sure you...
All right. I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Are you...
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show...
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that...
No,
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I have no... I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nerulette. I know just where to find him. Hey, look at that! Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So, in the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated... Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors, or this experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date, and
Thanks, Nervalet.
you are very welcome.
Okay. Assist with the rehouse. अरे यार अभी इसका रीसेट होगा अभी सुनना है कितना टाइम है 6 days ये सब full week.
Good news, everyone! It's done. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but now, let's work together.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come.
It's amazing! Even though Farina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone out!
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
इसका बेहोश होएगी ये
That cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place a little Oceanic and never, ever look back.
Apple Islands में जो देखना पड़ा था क्रोस का न्यूजीलैंड भी तो बैठा हुआ है यहाँ पे नहीं वो शायद अपनी चेयर पे बैठा हुआ ऊपर
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only.
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds?
They've been getting less and less effective over time.
What? I thought they'd cure it.
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not—
I'm sorry.
You—
Miss Farina?
Say no more. If you're sick, Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have—
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. From the sublime.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. But no one likes regrets. Myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to act what, in your opinion?
It's her pure heart, despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure. She never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Let's do this.
Will she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle nourrit, ainsi que toi mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey! That's not what we agreed on!
Oh! So it was Farina after all.
She's back!
Honestly, what is he doing?
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, It's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work...
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that... I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
She's dead.
Let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Higher क्या मतलब higher सही बराबर है
Time to go.
Oh, बहुत दूर जाना पड़ा
You're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage!
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
Don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing, even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very...
Well, I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. What about you, Miss Farina?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that maybe Nervilette was right. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Next time I'll invite you to join us.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it. It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could end now that the gods have given me their blessing. It actually feels more like this. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Yes. Equity. Wait. हाँ इक्विटी चाहिए हाँ ठीक है कर लेता हूँ आर्टिफैक्ट्स करके फायदा क्या अब मिल गए जो मिलने थे हाइड्रो और इलेक्ट्रो
Off we go!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Everybody stand back! You're toast!
Let's
Let's light it up!
Race you!
Going in!
kind of a sick trip.
One now.
गया ना मैंने डी मार दी लग गई
What now?
Wind strike!
Everybody stand back!
As one with wind and cloud!
स्पीड हद से ज़्यादा हो जाती है अटैकिंग की वो अब वक्त है मटेरियल कलेक्ट करने वे पॉइंट अनलॉक करते हैं हाँ कहाँ है वे पॉइंट बड़ी दूर दूर है शैडो ऑफ अगर वर्ल्ड अच्छा ये वो वेल की स्कीम वो निकालनी पड़ेगी आ गए अभी कुछ नहीं लिया आया
Please appreciate my sincerity. The banquet must go on.
बाबू मत पकड़ लिया तो 1 हिट किल कर लेगी इस बार And if you find a missing crystal
Make my escape.
यार किसका चलाएं यहाँ पे चीजें जोड़ गई अरे वर्ल्ड क्वेस्ट शुरू नहीं हुई है पॉकेट वॉच display the ornament of the shrine of so the room of souls it's a riddle I'm not sure about that that's one answer we can count out now underwater fish or शायद वो अरे हो जा अनलॉक ये है क्या गाना ओ ये रहा है बड़ा इजी इसका मटेरियल लाइन से मुझे तो दो दिख रहे हैं projector bidirectional while through it is automatic call of course and push and receiver. मुझे लगता नहीं होगा यहाँ पे मिल रहा है मैं मार्क लगा रहा हूँ कैमोफ्लेज हो रहे हैं और आगे 1 2 3 और आगे 2 और फिर आगे 3 और हैं जितने भी ये बड़े वाले फोन है उन पे तो है ही। माफ कर दिए मैंने, ये भी तो बहुत है। यहाँ के माफ कर दिए, यहाँ 2 हैं। आगे तो ले लिए मैंने। और इसमें नहीं, यहाँ पर होगा, नहीं यहाँ पर भी नहीं, इसमें 56 कहाँ के रह गए? के ले लिए मैंने सब जगह के। साइड No thanks. That one is that nice. आजा कितनी देर में आया है
Make my escape.
वही होगा और कौन सा हो सकता है क्या मतलब मैं कौन सा कर रहा हूँ
Yep.
अंदर पहुंचा आयो शहर के बैल शक्ति कंप्लीट करवाना किंगडम हार्ट्स की याद दिला रहा another one दो मिलने चाहिए थे जेन एक मिला मैंने चार गिरा है एक बार में Videos Harbor
Make my escape.
Yeah. Easy. Power to देगा ये गेम suffering point. आपको यार चली हो जाएगी, गुड फॉर यू। बाबा गायब क्यों हो गए?
Make my escape.
इस बार पजल बढ़िया है, तो मजा आया फिर। स्किल का बटन दबा दिया। मैं जा रहा हूँ। सिंगल प्लेयर यहीं से या वे पॉइंट और आजू की जगह मोनो को लगाओ, प्रिंटिंग फास्ट हो जाएगी।
This is how
यहाँ से सीधा below of the lake. No, uranium nara. दोबारा से बनाएंगे।
Another test subject.
And away I go!
आते रहो पीछे पीछे नहीं क्या मैं भाग जाऊंगा। वर्ल्ड क्वेस्ट है ख्याल से सारे वे पॉइंट हो गए सारे ओशन के एनिमल्स को मार के उनका मटेरियल मिला। Last victory. अब नहीं करूँगा फुल बैनर पे। Activate all. So we can do Nargis and Cruise Ordo. Act 1. Go to the screen board. कोई सा रह गया। ओ हाँ ये Water that failed to transcend. वाला मटेरियल भर के कलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा। बाइजू को हमने कर लिया था ना, कंप्लीट
Advice, don't break the law. Is there anything else? Yeah, seriously, don't break the law.
Fine. मेरी 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 हो गई।
If you ever see any stickers on my back, do me a favor and take them off. Malazines like to play pranks.
करने को रह गया मेरा डीसी करने को। एक चीज देखना एडवेंचर बुक में एनिमी quantum aberrant and aquatic creature found throughout fountain due to xenochromatic crystal। ये चाहिए मुझे बहुत सारे। तो क्या डोमेन लगा रखी है? ट्राउन डोमेन। Realm of the beginning। Oh yeah, this। Shadow of Netherworld। ये वाली ये कर लेता हूँ। इतना रेजिन तो और दोपहर तक रिफिल हो जाएगा और क्या, बर्बाद तो नहीं होगा कम से कम। मास्टर स्पेक्ट। अरे all devouring narwhal।
Come on, please.
अब बताइए भी है। खा जाओ मुझे।
Teamwork is dreamwork! Wind strike! Bubba, get them! Help! Regenerate attack!
यार क्या?
Let's light it up!
Wind strike!
Get a little chilly. Everybody stand!
As one with wind and cloud!
A moment, Adventure time!
Music!
Let's light it up!
Wind strike!
Let's light it up! I always bounce back. Just watch me.
Let's
Off we go! Let's light it up! Adventure time! I'm going in! You're toast! I'm surprised Off we go! Everybody stand back!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Eat this! Nice and spicy!
Oh, you're dead now. ये लानी पड़ेगी इसके लिए। Lightless eye of the maelstrom, lightless mouse. I'm changing that. लेकिन अभी चेंज नहीं कर रहा, बाद में चेंज करूंगा जब जरूरत पड़ेगी। ड्रीम सॉल्विंग क्या कहते हैं उसको? सॉल्वेंट मैरीटाइम फ्लावर। ड्रीम सॉल्वेंट ब्राउन डोमेन ग्रेट वुल्फ किंग ऑफ द नॉर्थ। अच्छा ओह ज्यादा ही भर रहा है मेरे पास। इसको मोरा लेके आऊं। इसकी गिफ्ट शॉप ये 279 इतना एक्सप्लोर कर लिया मैंने ली हुआ। याद ही मेरे कैरेक्टर वेद ने Hello there. Give me all the mora you got. तो मैरीटाइम हार्बर, लुमिजोस हार्बर, और इसका मतलब क्या? 2 हार्बर और आएंगे क्या? एक यहाँ पर और एक यहाँ पर। ये वाला हार्बर मेरे ख्याल से मॉन्स्टर से कनेक्ट करेगा। हाँ ऐसे। मॉन्स्टर की एक्सपेंशन वैसे भी आने वाली है। क्या काफ़ी है आज की, बहुत खेल लिया भाई। 3.5 घंटे की स्ट्रीम हो गई।